The Players' Party at the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart certainly wasn't the usual run-of-the-mill experience, given it was hosted at the second largest beer festival in Germany. So Svetlana Kuznetsova and soon-to-be crowned world number one Jelena Jankovic all enjoyed raising a toast along with top seed Serena Williams to the 31st edition of the long-established event. On court, though, the top seed wasn't smiling as broadly or as frequently as she was put to the sword by China's Na Li, despite winning the first set comfortably. And it wasn't long before she was staring defeat in the face. So the first major shock of the week as the current world number one was sent packing. And there were more surprises in the third round. Olympic champion Elena Demencheva found the going extremely difficult against 19-year-old Belarusian Victoria Azarenka, who despite 2 injury timeouts for treatment on her back managed to eventually prevail in 3 sets. In the pick of the quarterfinals, though, 3rd seed Dinara Safina was up against 6th seed Venus Williams in the first meeting between the two. The American utterly dominated the match by coming into the net at every available opportunity. And the Wimbledon champion ended up winning easily in straight sets. Nadia Petrova had made impressive progress through the top half of the draw and faced Azarenka in the semi-finals. And after racing to a 4-love lead, she eventually managed to bag the opening set 6-4. The second was just as tight, but in the end, the fact that she served a little more effectively than her opponent throughout the match was the deciding factor, and Petrova moved through to her 3rd final of the year in straight sets. In the other semi-final, Williams faced Jankovic in what turned out to be an epic encounter that lasted just shy of 3 hours. As expected, the American came into the net as much as she possibly could and won the opening set 7-6 as a result. But Jankovic battled desperately to break serve in the 12th game of the second set to force a decider. And in the 3rd set, she went from strength to strength, quickly building a 5-2 lead. So Jankovic through to a 2nd consecutive final on the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour after victory last week in Beijing. Which meant on Sunday afternoon, Jankovic and Petrova walked out proudly for the final of the 31st edition of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix. Unfortunately, the occasion seemed to get the better of the Russian, and 1 break of serve was enough to settle the first set. In the second, Jankovic proved too wily for Petrova early on, and then weathered the storm midway through the set when Petrova played her best tennis, and crucially, raised her game at the tail end of the set too. So Jankovic won her 2nd Sony Ericsson WTA Tour singles title in as many weeks and her 3rd title of the season after winning in Beijing last week and Rome earlier in the year. And with it, she earned the right to the keys of the car all of the players have had their eye on all week. It proved a wonderful tournament for the Serb, who will be crowned the new world number one on Monday for the 2nd time in her career, and deservedly so.